Hello, you noble people. My name is the Noble, and this is the Undertale and Deltarune Fall newsletter. This is a little late, as a matter of fact. I was getting ready to go to bed when they posted this, but I figure I might as well do this, so do keep in mind that I probably am not. I'm gonna stumble over my words because I was getting ready to go to bed. Um, and also, I probably won't retake any of things, but yeah, here's the newsletter. It has been 10 years since Under their has released with a cute picture of Frisk and Papyrus. I miss Papyrus, my sweet prince. Undertale 10th anniversary event. That's right. Ooh, an event. Let's have a stream where we play through Undertale, just like we played through Deltarune Chapter One. Looks at calendar and realizes the anniversary is on a weekday. Why don't we do this on a weekend after the anniversary instead? The event will be ran across 2 days at 4 p.m. PT on September 20th and 21. You can watch it here, and then that takes you to a fan gamer one, which will be on here and Twitch with a little Toby dog barking. That's cute. That's right. We tried playing it through everything. It took over 8 hours. We had to split it up. Split it up. We'll have a play half of the game one day and half the game the next day. That sure is a long time to talk. Is anyone going to enjoy watching this? I will enjoy watching this, especially because the Deltarune one had some teasers and stuff in it and additional content. Like Newbert, they were playing like an additional one where Newbert was in it, which is funny. Deltarune 3 and Chapter 4 came out. That's right, last time Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 came out. I really wanted to look back on these chapters and discuss my thoughts. Q&A, looking back on Chapter 3 and 4. But we don't have the time to do that right now. The anniversary is coming up. There's no time to discuss this now. Huh. They can't discuss this now. Okay, Chapter 5 progress update, September. A new shirt. Instead, let's talk about Chapter 5. You might be wondering what kind of chapter it is. Well, right now there's no reason to tell you that both of us like surprises, right? I think of everything to share in chapter, there's very little I would like to share. That being said, as an act of goodwill, I would like to spoil one actual Castletown scene. This seems assumes you have seen the special room in chapter 4. You can see them chillaxing. Oh, nice. Ow. 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 Hey boss, someone just knocked. You think it's Teta? No way, it's Teta Rubber Band. If it was him, I'd knock him but more gloopy. Ow. 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 Oh, he's drinking the acid, by the way. What the heck is this drink you got me? Battery acid. Battery what? What the heck you think I drink that? Well, that's my theory, boss. Yours is green, so you'd look like a green drink. Theory, that's not a theory. It's just you think just because something looks cool, that makes it correct. Yeah. Whatever. Ow. 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 I love that. I love the Pluie playing with the ball. That was really cute. Oh, and doing the like the eye fluttery thing. Next time I can show you more from Castletown. Detailed progress info. As of the current status of as of September 8th, 2025, areas, the early parts of Chapter 5 are complete but need polish in additional areas. Maybe the last 40% or so of the game is through a rough first pass state, and the last 10% is in a prototype state. Probably around 85% of cutscenes have been created up to a first draft state. However, those at least 20% will require more polish. Ooh, and then that looks like the Scarlet Forest tree, but like a pine tree. So more December holiday stuff going on. Enemies. Regular enemies are mostly done. One programmer is already working on regular enemy bullet patterns of Chapter 6. The direction of the boss bros have been decided on how many boss attacks have already been completed. Once the attacks are finished, the next goal will be to be arrange the attacks and make adjustments to them if necessary to fit the atmosphere of the battle. Overall, with Chapter 3 and 4, there are some creative hurdles which made developing parts of the game difficult. Uh, how to do the boards of Chapter 3, how to design the events in Noel's house, etc. Once you got past those hurdles and expanded the team, everything went much more smoothly. Chapter 5 was not without hurdles, but we already passed all the obvious ones, so there's little to get in our way now. We just need to keep making the game. And then the shopkeepers and innkeeper from that rough timeline look like this: making the game, we are here; localization, making game porting; finishing testing it, bug games release. We currently have one main deadline. I want to begin the translation by the end of 2025. After that point, gameplay changes will be acceptable, but large scale text story changes will be heavily frowned upon. Okay. Yeah, so they won't want to change stuff at that time. Factoring the localization and testing, I don't think the game will be released for the first half of 2026. That's fine. I was expecting it to be summer. That's not a surprise, right? From the last time's updates, you guys should have access to exactly how each step took line development. Anyway, we don't have any external factors surrounding the release date this time. We'll release it when it's done, and we'll continue to update guys on the progress of its completion. Thanks. Toby Fox voice acting for Homestuck. Yeah, let me tell you about Homestuck. If you haven't heard of Homestuck, it was a webcomic that basically launched my career back in 2010. I was a high school student with no aspirations for music composing at all. That wasn't until I discovered this webcomic, which I really liked. You see, the comic's animated sequences has music created by the very talented musicians, the Homestuck music team. I wanted nothing more than be part of my beloved comic, just like them. So one day, when a call was up for additional musicians, I instantly took this opportunity to become a composer. I made some band music, sent it over, and the author of the comic added me to the group. I didn't want to waste the opportunity of being added, so I really tried hard working and made as much music as I could, combining with many motifs as I could from other musicians. It was just an experience that forged me to the composer I am today. Additionally, thanks to my association with the comic, I gained a following on social media, which really helped me and made a Kickstarter for my game Undertale. You know, the thing which enabled me to make the game. I even initially reached out to Tammy specifically because of Homestuck fan art she did on Tumblr. Okay, I didn't know that. That's cool. So it was really owed me a lot to Homestuck. It made me better at music, but allowed to make my game connect with many important friendships and taught me lessons on how to deal with fandom, importance of valuing your fans. That is, I feel like that's kind of a personal hit or kind of little jab at Andrew Hussey, the creator of that, because he is really, really bad with the fans, and Undertale fandom at the beginning was kind of insane as well. So I feel like that is kind of a little jab. In mind, it's basically a debt I never be able to repay. Therefore, when I was asked if I could help out with a new Homestuck animation, I said I would give it a shot. Surprisingly, the request was not for music, but for voice acting. Still, I felt like I should help out. Waiting at the voice studio was another surprise. A few minutes into the recording, the voice director, I noticed, like, hey, this guy's resting voice, drag it from Angry Beavers. Turned out the voice director was the voice of Invader Sim Richard. Yeah, the recording session for yours. It was so fun. It felt like it was pretty much ended immediately. I'm not really a pro, so it was a nervous result. But Invader Sim told me that I did a good job, so I have to trust him. Anyway, my experience with helping out. Now I'd like to show you a trailer. I play the role of John Egbert, the kid wearing glasses, but first, warning for the more sensitive users, Humstruck has a lot of dirty language, and they had me say some pretty profane things. If you're a kid or would rather not hear, don't watch. Thanks. And then I believe this is the same trailer that I've already seen. Right? Yes, this is the trailer a month ago. I already watched that. And I already talked about the quote unquote stuff with that. I pretty much figured this is going to be on here. I mean, he literally stuck with Homestuck, so I understand that. Off music, yep, he did some off music. Fan game developed an alternative version of Off, available for Nintendo Switch and Steam. Legendary RPG Maker game. The characters were inspirations for designs of Sands of Papyrus. ACC, the musician from the original version, available online for free, however, didn't want his music to be used in the remake, but also didn't have a problem with us making new tracks. It's a bit of a strange circumstance, but when I was asked by the off creator Morris Ghost to help, I made some tracks for the game. You can download the songs here and enjoy. Fan musical albums. Recently, there have been some musical albums consisting of Undertale and Deltarune covers, which I have encouraged you to recommend. Yes, we saw that. We weren't sure if they were official, but then now we have confirmed. I think that it was pretty much confirmed because it was on his official YouTube account, but that's pretty cool. Some don't know how to say that. Piano arrangements of Deltarune's music by Trevor Allen Gnomes. I really recommend giving this one a listen. It's available on YouTube if you want to sample it for free. Monster Cat X Undertale. Yes, people. So yeah, people saw this a while. People were like, "Hey, is this supposed to release? What is this?" Yeah, we already got kind of teased with this. An album of electronic Undertale arrangements created by Monster Cat and Fariga Records. Many different artists worked very hard to put this album together, and the creativity shines through. The album releases Monday, October 6th, with a physical edition. You can click here. New merchandise. When I searched Tenna on the Fan Gamer store for a shirt for Anna came up. I love Tenna so much. Doesn't look like my usual merchandise, but I guess I should tell you guys to buy it. Conclusion: 10 years is passing is annoying. Well, does that mean I'm annoying? Anyway, I'll have to say more words for the next event, and then the event is that. Okay, this is pretty much what I was expecting. Um, the fact that I will say the fact that he can't really talk about how chapter 3 and 4 appeared, and I assume progress up. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to have any progress updates for chapter 5 because I feel like we're not going. It's next year. We're not waiting that long for chapter 5. But um, I'm gonna be excited. I mean, 8 hours is a while, but gonna be cut into two, so we'll be able to have a little bit of breather. I definitely am excited for this. If it's gonna be like the Deltarune, we're gonna get some insight into how he develops stuff. And also, I am hoping that we get a remaster for Undertale. A lot of people think 10 years is a good one, and I mean, as of recording this, we just got a remaster, and I just did a video on Danganronpa having its remaster for its over 10-year sequel, the Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. And I mean, that's over 10 years, and it's getting pretty much an entire remaster as well as additional content up to the same time. They're literally doubling the content of the base game, which is insane. Now, I'm not asking Toby to double it, but having a remaster of Undertale, like adding in the Deltarune stuff, whatever. I don't know if that would be a case, but knowing with how long chapter 3 and 4 took, a part of me feels like if chapter 5 is only taking 1 year, but chapter 3 and 4, like right after, if we take into account chapter 1, chapter 2 was 2021, it would be in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. So 4 years roughly. So I feel like they would have been doing something else, but also at the same time they were doing two chapters at once. Maybe I'm just theorizing too much here, but I do kind of hope we do get at least more than this. I'm personally still fine with this. I like that teaser. That fun teaser is funny. The tree here I'm think is obviously going to be some of that. I'm very happy. I think that music's going to be cool. Um, I do like that he he noticed Richard David Hortz. He also does other stuff for Disney Pop. If you don't know, he does the other. He does Moxie and Hell of a Boss and whatnot as well. So the fact that he got to talk to him, but Invader Zim told me that I did good job, so I have to trust him. That's cute. I really like that. And I do like that he does say that it's that dirty language, don't watch and stuff like that. One thing that I haven't seen anything Homestuck. I've kind of wanted to read it, but at the same time, it's apparently insanely long. Like it's long to the point where apparently it's longer than the Bible. Like I'm not joking. Apparently, I thought people were joking when they said it's bigger than the Bible, but it is actually bigger than the Bible. And apparently, it hasn't necessarily aged gracefully, and it's also kind of hard to get running. I do know Shay, they are streaming it, and I might try and catch those VODs or those streams live to try and catch up with that. But as far as I am concerned, I am excited for everything here, and I'm looking forward to those stuff. And this is all in all a good newsletter. But that's going to be it for me. Stay noble. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.